Good morning. Well, it's morning for me while I'm recording this video. This is your tutorial on how to create these videos that I'm asking of you this semester or the summer session for your discussion boards. So the theme in general is that we are creating a catalog of educational videos for any person in the community to read and understand about certain types of common medications. So each discussion board, you're going to choose a different medication and talk about it and teach about it. So it's going to require, of course, you doing some reading and studying up and just really processing based on your experience and what you anticipate what people really need to know about that medication. I'm going to demo part of that for you, but part of this video is to get you to is to show you how to use Screencast-o-Matic. So I think I've got my screen on here, but I'm going to go to a new tab and type in, and mine will pop up automatically, but I want you to just see where it says screencast-o-matic.com. And then we're going to open a new page, and this is what the initial page will look like. Fast free screen recording. You get up to 15 minutes to record, and it downloads to your YouTube channel. Now with a YouTube channel, if you got Gmail, then you've got a YouTube channel. They should be attached. If they're not, just reach out to me and we can set up a time to walk through that part. But you probably have a channel set up. So give yourself some extra time, because there's little hiccups like that along the way that'll end up frustrating you. So just make sure that you got that set up. If you do, then great. We'll move forward to the next step. So this is the main login, the main screen, home screen for Screencast-o-Matic. You don't have to log in or sign up or anything. Always go to this, go straight to the screen and go to the start recording button. And then you'll come to this screen. This is where you'll have to download something. If you haven't used this before, you're going to hit Launch Recorder. It'll give you the step-by-step of how to download that software. It's something basically that enables the system to use your webcam and to record and use all their technology. So it's really easy. Once you hit launch and download and accept or use or start download now or whatever the next button is, all of that stuff will be set up. So don't do this part when you're actually ready to record unless you've given yourself a lot of extra time. This is kind of like a pre-setup. And then the next thing, when I come back every time, it's going to go straight to this little box. So do a dry run and you'll see how all of the workings of all this stuff goes, and just do something silly and you don't have to save it. And the rest of it is just really self-explanatory. It steps you through. So let me close that. And I'm back on my screen. It's on the screen now. Like, I don't know if you can see the timer, the countdown. This is what it looks like when you're recording. So whatever screen you've got up, trying to find something that you might be interested in. There's nothing on here really. I've got my Zoom link up there, but there's really nothing fancy on my computer really that you want to look at. So now the one thing you can't do, I don't think, let me try it, is switch back and forth. Yes, you can. So you can switch back and forth to full screen. This middle button here is show my desktop. So it's going to show whatever's in this red and white square box here. And then the other is screen only, and it just shows what's on the screen. It doesn't show you as the video. So I'm going back to full screen, and I'm going to pretend like I am at the beginning of my video. Now, the topic I want you to cover for discussion board 1, this is our first week. We haven't studied any medications, but you all have personal experience with some medication. And if you haven't, wonderful, I'm so happy for you. But you probably have a family member, a close friend, a patient that you've had to teach extensively about one particular medication. So that's what I want you to talk about this first week. Trying to clear up my screen here. That's what I want you to talk about this first week, is the one medication that you have personal experience with. So I'm going to demo that now, and I'm just going to go for like 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm just going to go for 2 or 3 minutes. Your video is going to be 5 to 10 minutes long. You'll save it. You'll download it as a YouTube link. and then you'll copy that link into the discussion board threads. Okay, so that your classmates can watch your video and give you feedback about your video. Okay. Your audience, I want you to picture your audience of seniors in a senior center. They're on a lot of medication. They usually have questions, but they don't always have questions at the initial exam when they get prescribed the new medication. Sometimes their question comes a week later or a month later, or they don't even know they have questions or need to know something. So you kind of got to anticipate what they might need to know about blank. Okay, so here's my scenario. I'm going to use Lantus, injectable insulin. Not that there's any other form. I'm going to use the Lantus insulin as my medication that I am covering today. So here we go from the top. Okay. Hi, my name is LaShonda, and I'm your nurse for today. I'm going to be teaching you a few tidbits about Lantus. Now, I understand that you were started on Lantus insulin a few months ago, and I just want to do some follow-up education and see what kinds of, or to cover some kinds of things that you may have run across or things that you may run across in the next few months or years or however long that you're on this Lantus. Now, Lantus insulin is a long-acting insulin. It's supposed to cover a 24-hour range, slow, steady release into your bloodstream. So unlike the regular insulin that you would take at meal times or the NPH or 70-30 mixes that you would take at different times of the day, you've been put on a long-acting insulin so that you only have to take one injection a day. Now, some people have to take injections twice a day, so I'm already giving you the exception to the rule. But yours is prescribed for once a day, and we want you to take it in the evenings. Now, this means that you need to eat your regular meals. You need to eat your bedtime snack. Your blood sugar is not going to plummet because you missed a snack or missed a meal during the night, so you don't have to be worried about that. But you can wake up feeling a little shaky if you don't have enough glucose in your bloodstream. So I want you to keep your meals nice and steady, nice and paced throughout the day and through the evening, because this medicine is going to work and it's going to act on your system whether you eat or not. Now, with that in mind, if you have a sick day, you've got the flu, you're in pain, you've been in bed all day, these are the days that you want to either make sure that you eat more than you think you want to, because again, you've got this insulin in your system and it's going to act whether you're eating or not. So make sure that you're eating a lot even on your sick days, or drinking something like orange juice or something that's got some sugar in it that will help keep your blood sugar steady. Or if it's day 2 of your sickness or day 3 or whatever, and you know that you're not going to eat much the next day, then you're probably going to want to check with your doctor about being able to adjust that dose and ask them if it's okay. And hopefully they're seeing you. If you have the flu or something, you've seen the doctor and you talk to them and say, do I decrease my dose this week or these next few days while I'm just drinking liquids, while I'm just eating soup? And get permission and contract with them about taking lower doses, because then you'll have less insulin in your system acting on your glucose and removing that glucose out of your system if you know you just absolutely can't eat and drink, which is bad in the long term. So please don't let that be your plan, your long-term plan. Your insulin injection sites. You've been doing this, so you know, this is just a reminder that you're going to do it in the fatty areas. This is a hard area to get on yourself, but this is an option. Say if someone else is doing your insulin injections. But typically we're going to do, and I'm going to stand up here, your belly areas, and you're going to rotate. So you may go upper, upper, lower, lower. You may, if you got a little jelly roll on the side, then you may inject here on the sides. But then you can also do the fronts of your thighs and rotate opposite thighs and opposite places on your leg. The goal is for you not to reuse the same spot over and over and over again. Speaking of reusing, you also don't want to reuse your needle over and over again. A box of the needles at Walmart or CVS or wherever you go is usually pretty cheap, and it's just not worth you reusing that over and over. Clean, dry skin is fine. You may or may not use alcohol. It just kind of depends. I don't. I just use soap and water and make sure my skin's clean, and then I do my injections that way. When you inject, I'm going to use my arm as an example. You're going to pinch and then you'll inject the needle. And once you get all of the plunger complete, flush to the skin, you'll hold it there for a second and then release. And that just allows the medicine time to absorb into your soft tissue and then not drip all out of your skin. And sometimes you'll put in 24 units and maybe a unit of it leaks back out. And you'll know this if you've been giving yourself injections. But sometimes the medicine can leak back out. So that helps with that. Other questions, problems. You want to make sure if you are in an exercise program, when you're doing heavy activities, that you let the people around you know that you're on insulin. You can get a medic alert bracelet that say you passed out or you fell and hit your head and you can't speak for yourself and EMS shows up. They see this bracelet, they know that you're on insulin, and they know how to adjust their protocols accordingly. So, our health is just a very private issue, but that's one of the things you want to make public. People need to know. I started a kickboxing class last week, and I didn't tell the instructor at the beginning. It just didn't dawn on me, and I remembered later to say, oh, yeah, this really helps with my blood sugar, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, thanks for telling me that, because they need to know that, this is a potential, you could possibly use up all the glucose in your system while you're exercising, doing a strenuous workout, and pass out or something, or get a little lightheaded, and they know that that may be why, and they may start with giving you soda or orange juice or something to help bring you back around or whatever. So, side effects of insulin. One of the most common things that I've experienced and that I've heard in talking to other people who take insulin is that when you first start the insulin, and if you change your dose and increase your dose, you're going to feel tingling in your arms and shoulders and fingers. It happens for some people at nighttime. So when I first started taking insulin, I would wake up at night and my arms would just be kind of on fire, just burning and tingling. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, but I knew the only thing I had changed was that I had started insulin. So that's something that they may have told me, because again, they tell you a lot of stuff in the beginning on that initial visit, but you can't remember all of that. And that just kind of took me by surprise. So I started asking around and found that out. Now, I didn't panic, because it did actually go away after a couple of weeks, and it's been fine. Now, when my dose goes up, if I've had to increase doses in the past, then I feel that tingling again initially, and then it goes away. So, let's see. And so at this point, and I'm out of teaching mode and into teaching mode, this is the point where I might add in any drug interactions, any herbal interactions. So if you got somebody who is using cinnamon or chromium or some of the other meds that are supposed to help with stabilizing blood sugar, then you want to talk to them about that combination and the additive effect of using the herbs and the insulin and how that might affect their blood sugar, and being sure that they have let their provider know that they're on other supplements to help with the same condition. So we've talked about side effects, interactions, application or administration of the drug. Oh, one more thing I want to include, and I should have talked about this earlier when I was in video mode, is that is cost. And I've got some tips and workarounds with cost. But I'm nearing the end of my 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop this now and post this for you guys so you can get started on your first discussion board. Thank you, and I will see you again soon.